Hi guys, this is Mike Doble with Ski Southeast and ResortCams.com. It is 10 a.m. on Sunday morning, January 16th, and I will hope that you guys have turned your volume up by now and are able to check out this video. Try to keep it as short as I can, even though I'm going to give you a tour of all of the snowfall. This is a live weather radar. My position pushed on this map is here at my Ski Southeast Central office here in beautiful Sleepy Hollow, North Carolina. But you can see there that the snow, the system has finally pushed up and into our area in earnest. And you can see there as I kind of move the map around a little bit, you can see that it is now starting to get up into Virginia and West Virginia. Just heard from Kenny Griffin just moments ago. He said it has begun to snow there at Snowshoe Mountain, which is where he's located. But we saw this system really begin to, it took a while. We overnight last night, it was kind of like a kid on Christmas morning. I kept watching the radars. I couldn't really stay asleep consistently, but kept coming back to things and looking at the weather radar, because the system just kind of seemed to stay away for a lot longer. It took a while to get here, and then now that it is here, it's delivering. I can tell you that about 6 o'clock this morning, when I first got up and looked out on my deck, we might have had perhaps 3/4 of an inch to an inch of snow. Sugar Mountain was reporting 2 inches already, which is probably right on. But literally, I got up and out and started doing my reporting, and as of about 9 o'clock, roughly an hour ago, now we were already up around 4 or 5 inches of snowfall, and now on our front deck here, just an hour later at 10 a.m. or so, we're seeing about 6 inches or so on my deck here at the house, close to 6 to 7 inches, and we're seeing reports of that across the entire region. It's going to be a challenge today to keep up with the snow totals, because as of 6 a.m., the National Weather Service was reporting no snowfall so far, for example, at Sugar and Beech Mountain. But yet, just at 9 o'clock, all of a sudden, Sugar and Beech are both reporting 5 inches. We're seeing a little over 6 inches at Cataloochee and Wolf Ridge ski area over in western North Carolina, over in that area. And we're seeing significant snowfall really starting to push across the entire area. So we're going to keep up with those. We'll be compiling those each morning and give you some accurate data, perhaps as early as tomorrow morning, as far as how much snow and where that snow is falling. As of first thing this morning, as I'm posting the report, it's a very fluid situation that we're going to have to keep up with throughout, because the only snow that was falling in the entire area was here in western North Carolina. Appalachian Ski Mountain, as you can see here in this live shot, is getting bombed with natural snowfall right now. Beech Mountain is pretty much whiteout conditions. That's not a faded camera shot. That's just trying to shoot through all of that cloud of snow. And on top of the mountain, it's almost blizzard-like conditions. This is at the summit camera. You're not going to be able to make it out a lot. But some of these images, some of the imagery from these cameras is going to be pretty amazing as the sun comes out sometime on Monday, when this system completely passes all the way through. Here's Cataloochee at the base area. Again, they were probably reporting some of the deepest snowfall that we've seen so far, 6 to 7 inches of natural snowfall there. And I really think Cataloochee is already probably up around 9 to 12 inches. This is at the top, and I was witnessing some ski patrolmen who were looking at that first thing as they were opening up this morning, probably around 8:30, and the conditions there were pretty deep first tracks. You can see here, this is a shot at the top of Sugar Skiing Country Club, where the snow is really falling hard there. They're supposed to be doing NASCAR races, I believe, beginning at around noon. That'll be interesting to see if they still do those with the powder conditions. This is a base shot, not the best camera at the bottom of Sugar Mountain. They don't have really good internet pushing this thing, so it will start and stop. But you can see the crowd at 10:13 is already picking up. I mentioned this over on Ski Southeast, so if you guys have a chance, be sure to kick over to Ski Southeast and read the report, because a lot of ski areas are already sold out for today. So gone are the days that you can kind of watch the radar and the weather apps and weather stations and see that it's snowing in that your favorite mountain areas of Virginia, West Virginia, North Carolina, Tennessee, Maryland. Gone are the days that you can look at those reports and say, man, it's going to be great. Let's head up and go skiing, because a lot of these ski areas are sold out for today. You can check out skisoutheast.com for a list of the ski areas that are either already sold out or have very limited availability for walk-up ticket sales for today. So again, you're going to have to plan a little bit better now and in the future. Even though this all got started because of COVID, a lot of the ski area management and marketing teams have already shared with us that they're never going back. It just makes sense for them to be able to plan their mountain ops better and their staff better to know who's going to be skiing. This is a live shot here at the base of Omni Homestead in Hot Springs. You can see a little bit of a misty snowfall is starting to fall there. Again, that system, I'll take you back over to it. That system this is going to be out a little bit more later today. By the way, you can see on this shot here that some of the areas probably going to be transitioning over a little bit later today to potentially ice and freezing rain, making for some pretty dangerous conditions. But right now, everything is all snow here in western North Carolina. Hopefully it stays that way, and then it looks to be that way as this thing pushes on up into Virginia and West Virginia as well. So pretty tickled it finally made it here. We've been talking about this thing since it kind of started forming as far away as Hawaii, and here it is now, and it's going to be lasting pretty much for the next 24 hours. Ending sometime about the same time on Monday. But again, this is a shot of Omni Homestead. I'm going to take you now a little bit of a faded shot here at Massanutten Ski Area. We're going to have to check with these guys and see if they can clean that lens. We'll get over to Wintergreen Resort. The lines have already started to form there, but snow is falling, as you can see there. Literally an hour and a half ago, whenever I was looking at the cameras, this camera was not showing natural snowfall. Ditto on top of Skyline camera at Wintergreen Resort. You can see pretty significant crowds there. Wintergreen is also a ski area that first reported that they were going to be limiting ticket sales today. They are now sold out. So no skiing if you don't already have a season's pass, or if you haven't already purchased your ticket in advance. You're not going to be skiing at Wintergreen Resort today. So anyway, there's good conditions there, as you can tell. Beautiful conditions. Looks like here on the top of the eave here, the lodge where this camera is mounted, that perhaps they just started getting significant natural snowfall falling. This is a slope side shot of the slopes here. You can see the snow is falling pretty good here. And then now we're going to take you up into West Virginia, where first we will go to Winter Place. And I was looking at this camera just a little while ago. The winds are howling there already. I was there on Friday, and what a difference a couple of days make. But the conditions there on Friday were fantastic. Will even be more so today, and I'm sure all of these guests are going to have a great time. Also saw where Winter Place had very limited tickets available still for sessions today, for the day sessions. So if you're up on the interstate, you might want to head on over there if you plan on trying to ski at Winter Place today. But the snow is falling there pretty heavy now. Again, just 30 minutes ago on this camera, no snow was falling. So I'll have to go update Ski Southeast, because at that point in time, as I was posting the update this morning, no snow was falling anywhere except in the state of North Carolina. We'll go to Timberline now, where it looks like the snow hasn't quite made it there quite yet, here to Timberline, but I'm going to show you here at the base. You can see good traffic. It's going to be busy there today. They still have, you can go there and pick up a lift ticket on the day of. You don't have to do it in advance. You can, but you're not required to. But you may want to think about that. Timberline and Canaan Valley are both, in fact, if you want to fight the crowds, both of these resorts are just amazing in terms of rarely do you find lift lines at these resorts. Now at Timberline, you will see some lifts later on today. I mean some long lines later on today, but with those new ticket systems and the gates that they have, they very rarely last more than maybe 10 to 15 minutes at even on Timberline Mountain. Here at Canaan Valley, you're rarely going to find something that's going to last a lift line that's going to last more than a couple of minutes. But you can see they're pristine conditions at Canaan Valley. This is a shot at the mid station. And again, you can see wide open slopes, beautiful conditions. The snow has not hit there yet. In fact, a lot of broken skies here as the storm approaches. They will be getting it shortly, and all of these little areas that you see here that are not covered will be deeply covered with probably 8 to 10 inches of snow in the forecast. But I'll tell you guys, if you've not ever skied at Davis, West Virginia, ever gone skiing at Canaan Valley, or if you haven't been in years to Timberline, with the new ownership took over 2 years ago, both of these resorts really deserve your business. I would highly suggest making plans to go there. Let's go ahead and go over to Silver Creek at Snowshoe Mountain, where you can see they're getting a little bit of a fine dusting of snow. Kenny Griffin just updated me a short while ago that it was beginning to snow there. Snowshoe has had, in fact I'll show you the village right now, Snowshoe has had some natural snow even in the last 48 hours. Yesterday morning, Kenny, myself, and Brad Panovich did a live feed on Facebook through Zoom, and he was showing us beautiful conditions there in the village about the same time on Saturday morning, and here it is now snowing yet again. So Snowshoe's now getting in on the natural snow action. Here's a live shot at Shaver Center from the Shaver Center camera. Busy time up there already. 10:21 on a busy holiday weekend, Christmas to New Year's, Martin Luther King weekend, President's Day weekend. By about now, the slopes are going to get pretty crowded, so you need to get out early and often. I'm almost going to regret to show you this shot right now, but here's at the bottom at the boathouse, at the bottom of the ball hooter lift. You can see lines already starting to form pretty big on both sides coming down from lower ball hooter on this side and even on the main trails. That lift line is probably going to take you a good 20 to 30 minutes at this stage, somewhere in that ballpark. And this is what it makes it a great advantage. I know Kenny and Betsy are there today, but they not only have the Icon Pass, they've got a Fast Pass that literally I took advantage of back during the Christmas break, thanks to the great team, Sean Castle and those guys at Snowshoe. But those Fast Passes are game changers. You can avoid these long lift lines, ski right up to the lift and go, and pretty phenomenal. But they limit the sales on those things early in the year, so if you're ever interested, get there early. I think that's pretty much everybody. Let me show you real quick Deep Creek Lake Wisp Resort in Maryland. This camera may pan around a little bit. You can see the snow has not made it quite yet to there. I'll kick you back over to the weather maps here in a second. Let me see if I can get that. And we'll see just how far off that system is. Here we go. But you can see right here in this notch of West Virginia that should be, of Maryland, it should be West Virginia. They're not going to get into it for yet, probably another hour or so, but then the natural snow should hit up around that area of Garrett County in Maryland as well. So there's a long range shot, and this will zoom into shortly into Wisp Resort here in Maryland. You can see, I think I can see even here long range, there's a couple of skiers coming down Squirrel Cage right here. There we go. You can see a couple. But this is pretty amazing. Very little in the way of traffic here at Wisp Resort in Maryland. First thing this morning, it is 10:23, and I'll take that kind of traffic every day. I mentioned I'm going to show you Gatlinburg. It was crazy. I'm going to come back to this because this camera takes a while to pan around. Well, there it goes. But it was crazy. I will tell you, you guys are familiar with Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and the Great Smoky Mountain National Park. Ober-Gatlinburg has been hovering at about 32, 33 degrees most of last night and most of this morning, and they're not seeing anything in the way of natural snowfall right now. They've actually seen a little bit of freezing rain. You can see snow tubing going on there, but they've seen a little bit in the way of freezing rain. And yet, just 20 minutes up the road, if you go out of Gatlinburg and head into the Great Smoky Mountain National Park towards Newfound Gap at 6 a.m. this morning was already reporting 7 inches of snowfall. And that's crazy because this system kind of came in from that direction, dumped 7 inches at Newfound Gap, nothing here at Ober-Gatlinburg, and yet Maggie Valley and Cataloochee picked up about 6 inches of snow. And like I said, they're probably up around even higher than that now. As I'm sitting here speaking, I'm actually seeing very light snow flurries happening here now at Ober-Gatlinburg, so maybe they'll yet get in on the act a little bit, but that's that. Let me see if I can go ahead and show you now a couple of the more popular cameras that you guys are familiar with. This is a live shot right now in downtown King Street, Boone, North Carolina. You can see it snowing pretty heavy there. What you're seeing on the camera lens there is the snow hitting the dome, and the heater in the camera is kind of melting that. So it's not really raining or anything going on there. It's just pretty significant snowfall. Ditto that for downtown Blowing Rock. This is the Blowing Rock Park, where you can see some visitors evidently dragging their kids with the sleighs, and they're having a good time there in downtown Blowing Rock. Blowing Rock had already picked up 6 inches of snow this morning, so good snowfall there. Let me see if I can show you down around Appalachian State University. You can see here again, same thing. Kids walking on campus there, and pretty heavy snowfall. That camera's kicking in and out. Let me see what we have here at the Convocation Center. Pretty much the same thing, but heavy snowfall falling in downtown Boone area. Let me see if I can get you a decent shot here of Beach Mountain Parkway. I want to thank, while I'm showing this camera, because a lot of the TV stations show this camera, I want to thank all of the television stations for promoting and sharing content on resortcams.com. Kenny was telling me just a few minutes ago via text, we are already over at 10 a.m. this morning, already over 250,000 views, 250,000 visitors on resortcams.com as of 10 a.m. this morning. Without question, we're going to see some records broken today in terms of our visitation, both on resortcams.com, but over here on skisoutheast.com. I have not posted the morning update there quite yet. I have done all of the snow reports. Those reports were as of the time posted on that update, that First Tracks update. I'll try to update you maybe a little bit later on this afternoon, but it's going to be a challenge to keep up with all the snowfall that's falling. We're probably going to have to compile things through the official reporting outlets each morning to get an accurate assessment in terms of just how much snow fell and where throughout. But you can go over on skisoutheast.com, as Kenny and those guys always remind me. Be sure to visit us on Facebook and Instagram. I know Kenny and Betsy are over at Snowshoe today, and they'll be posting some things on Instagram. We'll try to get you those updates and share those on the website as well for those of you guys who do not do social media. But that's it for right now. Thanks for visiting. Be sure to come back and check back with us, I guess, early and often, and we'll try to give you some more updates as we're able to share that content over the full day with all of the snow that's coming in. So that's it for today. Have a great Sunday and enjoy the snow.